Chapter 10, Your Personal Growth Unlimited ROI. The distinction between the two is vital, and you have to ask yourself whether you want to learn from a coach or a mentor. In reality, there is rarely an appropriate scenario where I would ever choose to work with someone who considers themselves to be a coach. For faster results, look for mentors, not coaches. They're qualified by their tangible results, not their mere access to information. Find a mentor who has 10 times the results that you're looking for. And if they're willing to work with you, and if it's a logical fit for you both, make the investment. They could literally be the key to unlocking greater personal growth. The cliches aren't wrong. If you're ready to apply some 10x power to your life, relationships, and business, your Swan account holds the answers. That means it's time for another type of investment. Not in property, not in business, but in yourself. Or like one of my mentors, Dolph DeRoos, says, it's time to invest in the real estate between your ears. When people begin this journey, the impulse seems to be to purchase investments with their reserve vehicle. I'm not saying that's a bad strategy, but if you had to choose between an investment and a mentor who can help you access superior opportunities with a superior mindset, I encourage my students to invest in mindset first. But how much to invest? I can't make that decision for you. Only you can determine the actual percentage based on how many areas of your life require some objective feedback and insight, as well as how big and aggressive your goals are. The more behind you feel in the game and the faster you want to go, the more you should invest in mentors because they accelerate results way beyond the limits of pure capital investments. Mentorship undoubtedly leads to monetary growth. Since this has been a book about money, as I told you it would be from the beginning, I feel compelled to say that. However, the ultimate purpose of life is not to accumulate money. Societal constructs, what we're told to envy and who we idolize, make it seem like that, but it's not true. All the money in the world can't fill the void of an otherwise empty life. I've met plenty of miserable rich people. What you prioritize eventually rules your life. If you live for being a gym rat and disciplining your body, that's commendable. It's also easy to fall into the trap of valuing physical looks above all else. And if you live to grow your bank account, you can set yourself up for a lavish retirement. But what if you get to retirement and your pursuit of money has left you with no sincere relationships? Who wants to retire completely alone? That sounds bittersweet to me, and far more bitter than sweet. Self-worth should not be connected to net worth, body fat percentage, belongings, or friendships. Self-worth also requires its own kind of fuel, one that can't come from a reserve vehicle or a firm body or a luxury car. You need rocket fuel for your mind in the form of powerful mentorships. There's a bigger picture to consider that goes beyond financials. I'm talking about getting an ROI on prioritizing your growth as a human being and a parent, a professional, son or daughter, spouse or partner, and friend. We are multi-dimensional human beings. Everything we do in life falls into the category of money, health, relationships, or personal empowerment. Actively pursue growth in each of these areas for maximum fulfillment. You're here to grow, and the fastest way to grow is to work with someone who pushes you far outside of your comfort zone. This is a significant part of the journey towards having it all. We all grow at different paces for so many different reasons, but a general guideline that anyone can follow to maximize fulfillment is this. Number 1, set your intention and pick your path. Pick your most aggressive form of growth that will help you reach a desired level or goal, such as books, courses, coaching, and mentors. Number 2, step outside of your comfort zone. A good mentor stretches you far beyond what's comfortable. Everything you want but don't yet have is found outside of your comfort zone. You must get there, and it's hard on your own, but not for a mentor. Number 3, execute with accountability. Once you have the plan and see the path before you, it's time for action. Remain teachable in order to maximize the results of whatever growth path you have chosen. And number 4, expect and track results. Track your progress in every area of growth and never forget that ROI is the ultimate tool to gauge how effective any investment is, whether it's a mindset shift or a financial investment. People without money always think that the grass is greener on the other side, and in some ways it is. But is finding the greatest pasture or having the most zeros possible in your bank account statement really the purpose of life? Not to me. Material possessions are terrible substitutes for actual substance. True fulfillment cannot come from monetary gain. Making money is necessary to reach your goals, but should not be the goal itself. Here's an example. If you had the means to spend $50,000 on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation, would that trip itself be the end goal? I hope not. Think about what it took for you to earn the means to take such an extravagant trip. You earned that trip because of the good choices that enabled you to afford the luxury. That is the real victory here. Your wise decisions and intelligent execution led to the fulfillment of your dreams. We've all heard the cliches about stopping to smell the roses and that there's no dress rehearsals in life. But as annoying as cliches can be, they're always accurate, aren't they? So as we continue, commit to discovering how many cliches you can bring to life. Because why not? You should dance like nobody's watching, laugh more, since it's the best medicine, run through that open door after another one closes, and be the change you wish to see in the world. After all, you only live once. Cliches like these get a bad rap, but I make a point not to ignore the wisdom passed down through the ages. When you ask people on their deathbed what they cherish the most in their lives, not one of them said it was their bank account. Never forget that. There really are no dress rehearsals, and this is your one shot at doing it right. So why not make it count? A grand design for you to have it all. So what is this book really all about then? On the outside, it's the perfect tried and true formula for how to become a self-made millionaire many times over. But as you now look more deeply, you begin to understand that more money equates to more options. Options to make more time for better health, for deeper, more meaningful relationships, and for producing the means to create value and solve problems for people. In other words, beyond achievement, this book is really about fulfillment. Fulfillment cannot be bought. It can only come through the choices that you make. This leads us to the grand design of how to balance fulfillment in all three areas of life. The deepest fulfillment in life comes through personal growth, which is why it's the final piece in the Have It All blueprint. To further explain life's interconnectivity, I created a diagram to explain how all three life areas work together like a symphony. I'm going to describe a Venn diagram of three circles that overlap each other. One of those circles is titled wealth. Financial freedom gives you the capacity to create value for others, your loved ones, and the world. Your wealth can generate fulfillment for others when you apply it correctly. The next circle, health. Health is your strength, your energy, your ability. It's total wellness inside and out. Wealth without health is empty. And the third circle is connection. We are connected not only to those around us, but also to ourselves. There is a link with our fellow humans that transcends what we think we know about the human body, mind, and soul. When you imagine wealth, health, and connection all coming together, it intersects to form this grand have-it-all design. And where each of these spheres intersects, a new benefit develops. You could call these the compounding ROIs of having more than one area of your life in balance. For example, freedom, the intersection of health and wealth. When you combine these two forces, you create extraordinary freedom. You have the energy and vitality to enjoy life at its fullest, and you have the financial resources to support anything that you want to do. Vitality is the intersection of connection and health. The combination of these two forces is powerful. And when you have your health, you feel energized to forge even more relationships. This produces a kind of vitality that allows you to experience life in all of its vibrancy, arm in arm with others. And finally, contribution, the intersection of wealth and connection. When you combine money and connection, it leads to contribution. Being connected to the world enables you to see where your money would create the most impact. And as you grow more financially stable, always look for how you can give back to the world. And of course, when all spheres are aligned, you have it all. Just remember that this is not a set destination that you reach. Nourishing all three spheres requires conscious effort and a tireless commitment to foster each one, as well as ongoing mentoring. Let's break down the first sphere, wealth. The national average salary is only $44,000 a year. And I'm not sure what your life goals are, but I can almost guarantee $44,000 a year won't get you there. Set a reasonable income goal for the next year, and then take the most critical step to find a mentor who makes far more than that and start working with them. If a mentor doesn't tell you how much they make, then find somebody else. I know it's a little taboo to talk about how much money we make, but frankly, I think that's just another social construct we've created that needs to be eliminated. Find someone you respect who can clearly explain how they achieve their financial freedom and then mirror their actions. Wealth mentorship. When I became interested in the real estate game, I aligned myself with immensely successful mentors who had made tens of millions of dollars in the real estate game. I followed them, learned from them, and remained in their airspace as much as they would allow me to. My first mentor eventually kicked me to the curb, a kick that I definitely deserved. I was a 22-year-old kid desperate for help. I showed up at his house one night at 10 p.m. in a moment of excessive eagerness. Please don't do this. My second mentor expertly guided me through my first property investment. The equity from that deal led to 25 more homes over the next 4 years. My third mentor showed me the ropes of seller financing. He and I eventually partnered together on many real estate deals. I've had numerous mentors in the real estate and financial arenas. To find the right wealth mentors, start defining what next level wealth means to you. Dig deeply by asking yourself questions like, what would have to happen to achieve this kind of wealth? Can my current job get me to that income goal? Why or why not? Does my mindset about money help or hurt this goal? What daily schedule changes would I have to make? Can I commit to saving at least 20 cents on every dollar that I make? Every time I wanted to learn something new that would accelerate my wealth accumulation, I skipped Google University and went straight to the experts. I determined who I could pay to get into their airspace and provide me with shortcuts of where I wanted to go. The second sphere, health. Our health is the most incredible wealth. If life is a physical struggle, it's nearly impossible to find joy in the day. A healthy, strong body, one whose health is built from the inside out, is essential. Studies show that there's a direct correlation between health and a person's income, and that says a lot. Health mentorship. Almost a decade ago, I decided to enter a bodybuilding competition, and I knew this meant I needed to figure out the best way to trim the fat and get ultra sculpted. The pressure was on. In a few short months, I'd be on stage, half naked, flexing in front of 1,000 people. My confidence was instantly boosted knowing that my mentor had won multiple all-natural bodybuilding competitions, and he assured me that I could do it. And it was his confidence and success that got me there. There are many areas of health for which you may consider hiring a mentor. You could hire a mentor who can help you cut fat or build muscle. You can hire a breakthrough coach to help you figure out the real emotions and meaning behind your health challenges. You could work with a mentor who can teach you how to eat well. You could hire a functional medicine professional who understands the most direct path to inside-out healing. Start defining what next level health means to you by asking questions like, what would have to happen to achieve that level of health? Does my current lifestyle encourage or discourage physical well-being? Does my current mindset about my body help or hurt my goals? What daily schedule changes would I need to make to prioritize my health? Can I commit to making my health a priority every day by exercising, eating well, and getting enough sleep? Whatever results you're looking for, find someone with a proven track record of transformative results and ask plenty of questions to ensure they are the right fit for you. Remember, they may have gotten to where you want to be and beyond, but they still need to prove it to win your trust and a share of your wealth reserves. Sphere number 3, connection. We often stifle even the best relationships through our own self-imposed limitations ingrained in us from a very young age. Childhood is riddled with limiting beliefs and traumatic experiences that we really never outgrow. And to make matters worse, unresolved issues from past relationships can manifest in other relationships. And unless you can move beyond the pain, your relationships run the risk of remaining unfulfilling and potentially toxic. It's certainly no way to live. connection mentorship. Glenn and I met when we were such young pups. As we worked to become better humans together, we discovered that what we thought was good communication wasn't always good, and it definitely didn't feel like communication. Finding the right relationship mentors was a game changer for us. We learned communication techniques and were finally able to see each other through a more objective lens. We even learned how to gamify our relationship's growth, and I highly recommend you do this. Because of the improvements we experienced as a team, we are now relationship mentors for other couples. So it's time to start defining what next level connection means to you. Dig deeply by asking yourself questions like, what would have to happen to achieve an enhanced level of connection with others? Does my current lifestyle encourage or discourage genuine connection? Does my current mindset about relationships help or hurt my connection goals? What changes would I have to make to prioritize connection with others? Can I commit to make my own needs and the needs of others a priority by actively working past the pain of former traumas? Our relationships with friends, family, coworkers, and even the most casual acquaintances have a profound impact on heart, soul, and body. Learn how to foster and grow an unselfish devotion for others. And don't forget to cultivate some self-love for yourself. You can't love others well until you first love yourself well. For me, the grand design is frankly awe-inspiring. What's even more impressive is that all facets of life fit into one of these three spheres. The goal then is to understand how to foster all three without neglecting any one area. A stool will not stand without all three of its legs. And likewise, your life will not function well when you neglect one or more of these spheres. When you break this book down to one of its most fundamental truths, it's this: your reserve vehicle needs to be a top priority. Otherwise, how can you fund all of the other massive growth that you wish to experience in your wealth, health, and connections? The more money you have in your life insurance bank account, the more you have to pour into your investment vehicles and personal growth. There will always be haters out there. People will tell you your dreams are crazy and foolish, or at the very least, unattainable. The thing is, they're not always wrong. Big goals are crazy if you have absolutely no clue how to accomplish them and no plan for figuring that out. We overestimate what we can do in a year and grossly underestimate what can be achieved in a decade. Add a massive personal growth component to your investment strategy, and within a decade, you'll be blown away at what's truly possible. And I just got to pause for just a moment and tell you, as maybe a little bonus section, I'm living the most extraordinary life. But if you had met me literally 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you'd say, man, this kid has no confidence. He won't look you in the eye. He certainly is probably more introvert than extrovert. He's got zero charisma. And yet when people experience me today, they look at my confidence, or they look at my track record, they look at the wealth in my life, or where I'm at with my family. And I don't want to put you under some illusion that I'm perfect or that my life is perfect. But I have to tell you, I never knew that life could be as great as the one that I'm truly living right now. And all of that comes back to having mentor after mentor after mentor, because I didn't put all my money into real estate or into business or into other technical investments, because there's so much more to life than your net worth and how much wealth that you can actually accumulate. At some point, you have to turn to what will drive fulfillment, what will drive meaning. That's why I've included this chapter for you. And that's why it's so important. It's probably the most important chapter that I could put in a book about money. This means that the key is to not just stop at setting a goal. You need a plan. Your goals are commendable, not crazy, as long as you're willing to invest in a mentor who has 10 times the results that your growth demands. As you seek to set your income and savings goals throughout this process, ask yourself questions like these. How much did I make last year? And how much would I like to make next year? What is the most I've ever made in a single year? What's the most I've ever had in savings? How much would I like to have in savings? How much would I like to invest within a year? It's essential to know the difference between how much you've made and how much you want to make. Working the numbers is the only way you'll ever be able to manifest the steps required to meet those goals. But you don't have to do it alone. The right mentor can help you come up with those steps. Beyond the financial returns, The most significant ROI that you'll always get will be from an investment in yourself. The day you start investing in yourself is the day you start opening up the real returns of your potential and discover what's possible for you in this life. If you've made it this far in the book, it tells me that you appreciate at least some of my ideas. And that's a promising sign that you might be a great candidate for achieving a life-changing experience at one of my upcoming events. Because you might want to know, Kris, how do I get proximity to you? Certainly there are those people that will pay multiple six figures to get private mentorship with me, but I don't want to leave anybody out, which is why at my own private event center, I make myself available a few times a year. And for a really tiny price, I bring in as many people as I possibly can because I know how impactful the event is. It's not just teaching you wealth. It's not just the financial freedom roadmap. It is clearing out all of the different limiting beliefs and helping you find your next level results in your wealth, your health, and in your relationships. Many of my students regularly double their income after attending my event within a matter of months or a year. Often they'll leave just feeling empowered to actually start investing in real estate, going after those moonshots, or finally starting that next business or killing off that one that they shouldn't be working on. To learn more about my life-changing events, go to kriskrohn.com/experience. Just 2 chapters left. Are you going to stick with me till the end? If so, I got to say, I like your style. Chapter 10 checkpoint. Takeaway number 1, employ the power of proximity by getting into the airspace of mentors who have at least 10 times the level of success that you're aspiring to achieve. Number 2, you need the rocket fuel that mentors can provide to create the kind of results that you can't get from averaging the results out of those in your current inner circle. Takeaway number 3, if you have the choice between hiring a coach and hiring a mentor, pick a mentor every time. They are walking, breathing success stories that you want to emulate. Number 4, prioritize self-improvement through mentorship because all the money in the world can't fill the void of an empty life. Number 5, the Venn diagram of the grand design for having it all strives to bring the 3 spheres, wealth, health, and connection, into balance by actively nurturing all 3. And finally, takeaway number 6, mentorship and all the other investments will never be possible if you don't start stashing cash now. I know I've reminded you like a dozen times, but guess what? It's because it's not the sexiest thing I could be talking about, but it turns out that it's the start of making all of this happen, which means it's important. So get on it.